Hi everyone, hope you had a happy Easter. Had a nice rest, which was nice, some lovely weather. So I'm going to do standing warm up, then there's going to be a bit of walking out to plank and some work in plank, so if that's not for you, you should probably choose a different video. And then hopefully we'll run straight into some work from semi-supine position. If you are new to these videos, please be sensible, please listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. So stop, maybe just check your position. If it's still not great, then just stop, get in touch with me one way or another. We'll work out what's going wrong. Okay, so we'll come and stand, feet together, and then step toes apart. Bring your heels in line with your toes. And then just gently rolling your ankles in and out a few times. So as always, just noticing how those ankles feel, how they move, if they move, and just compare one side to the other. Notice how as they roll in and out, that changes the feeling all the way up through your legs. And maybe even up into your body as well. And then just bring those ankles to a nice middle position. Just got a little lift under the inside of each arch on each foot. Pick up your toes, spread them apart and keep them spread as they come back to the mat. And then just soften through your knees. And we'll tilt the pelvis backwards and forwards a few times. So imagining that pelvis like a bowl of water. Pouring a little bit of water out of the back of the bowl and then a little bit of water out of the front of the bowl. And then we'll just come into neutral. So the water in your bowl is level, you just have a little feeling of lift through your lower tummy. Have a widen across your collarbones. Just think about your head being like a helium balloon and that is floating up towards the ceiling, drawing the rest of your spine with it, so just lengthening up. Imagine a bit of water running down the middle of your back. Very gently let your shoulder blades follow that water. And just a sinking and softening feeling through the ribs at the front. I'll have a few deep breaths here. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you breathe in, just float your head a little further towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, empty out all that air, allow the shoulders to relax. And then just start to roll through your shoulders. Very gently. Noticing how they feel, how they move. If they're a little bit clunky, keep those shoulder rolls small. If they feel alright, start to go a little bit bigger. And just all the time noticing what you feel through your neck. You should stay nice and relaxed, head still floating up towards the ceiling. Rib cage and chest just sinking and softening down and in towards the backbone. And then pause and roll those shoulders forwards. Maybe just compare one side to the other. Notice any differences. And then pause and roll back again for just a couple. So we're going to breathe in and float just one hand up towards the ceiling. Breathe out and reach that hand wide. And then the other. So just floating the hand up as you breathe in, reaching the fingers towards the far wall as you breathe out. So my arm's not coming behind me, it's just going straight out to the side, floating up and then reaching wide. So just really lengthening up and then lengthening out. Think about creating space through the shoulder joint. And then on the next one, we're going to go both arms together, breathing into float up, breathing out to reach wide. So we'll go a couple more, and then we are going to do some opposing arm circles. I know how much everybody loves these. So next time those hands float up, pause with your fingers pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to take one hand forwards, one arm backwards, and keep those arms circling in the same direction. So one arm is circling forwards and the other is circling backwards. So just check that you don't end up doing front crawl or backstroke. Effectively, one arm is doing front crawl and the other arm is doing backstroke. And just allow your body to turn with that movement. Okay, we'll go a couple more this way. And then next time those hands point towards the ceiling, as they come up, just pause and then send them back the way they came. So effectively they've switched directions. And again, just check you're not doing front crawl and you're not doing backstroke. One arm is circling one way and the other is circling the other. So if you have got restrictions around your shoulders, this might not be the easiest. If it's not comfortable, don't persevere. If it's making your brain ache, that's fine, but it shouldn't be painful for your shoulders. Let's just go for a couple more. Last one. And then let those hands come up towards the ceiling and let them come down and have a little shake. And you'll get shake out while done. Okay, so we're going to take our feet wide today. We're going to have toes towards 2 and 10 o'clock. And you want them a bit wider than shoulder width apart. So if you were to turn your mat around, they'd be a bit wider than your mat. Toes turned out, little lift under the inside of each arch. So we're going to do some teeny little plies as such. You're going to imagine that you're stood against a wall and you're going to breathe out and just slide yourself down that wall and then breathe in to slide back up. So your shoulders and hips are staying in line. You're just sending those knees out over your middle toes, coming back up again. So it really doesn't need to be a big movement, especially if you find this quite tricky. It can just be tiny little slide down and slide back up again. But keep thinking about keeping the little lift under the inside of each of your arches on each foot. If you're really struggling to get your knees in line with your middle toes, just bring your feet a little bit more parallel so they're not turned out quite so much. And you're just dropping your tailbone down towards the floor, keeping the bit of lift through the tummy, breathing out to sink down, breathing in to come back up. And you might just feel the muscles around your bottom and the top of your thighs working a little bit there. You might get a stretch more down the inside of the legs. So just breathing out to sink down, breathing in to come back up. And just check you've got equal weight into each foot, maybe a little bit more weight into those heels as you sink down and then squeeze back up again. Okay, we're going to hold the next one. And we're just going to lift one heel up and lift the other heel up. And see if you can lift both heels up and come back up again. Same again. One, then the other, and then both. And come back up. Keep going. One, then the other, and both. One, then the other, and both. That's it. Keep working with that. Other, and both. Come back up. So really just set that position, only just lifting the heel, and then the other one, and then both. Nothing else really changes. We're going to go for 2 more. 1, 2, both. Last set. Sink down. 1, 2, both, and come back up. So this time we're going to lunge across and reach up and away. Come back through the centre. Lunge the other way. So you're trying to get a lovely long straight line from the foot on the one leg up to the fingertips of the hand on that same side. Nice long straight line. So really reach up as well as over. I don't want to see this kind of thing. You want to really lengthen out through that side of the body, reaching up, and switching over, reaching up. So you're bending into that one knee, lengthening and straightening through the other leg. And then you're going to take this all the way around. So you're going to come into that lunge and keep circling that arm. So it comes down and around and across in front of you. Switch your hands over and come back to the middle. Then go back the way you came. Lunge across. Let that arm come all the way around. Switch them over in the middle and come back to the centre. Go back the way you came. Lunge first. Let the body roll around the front and come back to the centre. So really moving all of the upper body and through those legs. But we're going to go one more each way. Last one. And come back to the centre and come back up. Okay, now I think I'm going to keep my phone this way around for now. Hopefully you can see well enough. So we're going to come and do some roll downs. And from our roll downs, we're going to walk the hands forward out to plank and back again. So, I think we can just about see. If plank is not for you, just whiz this on a little bit, do something different, maybe work into cat, do some thread the needle, something like that. Anyway, so have a nice deep breath in and grow tall. As you breathe out, you're going to peel yourself down towards the feet. We'll pause at the bottom for a breath in. And then we're going to breathe out and walk the hands forward out to our plank. We'll just hold this first one for a couple of breaths and then breathe out, walk the hands back again. Pause for your breath in at the bottom and then breathe out and peel yourself back up. And again, breathing out, peel down, knees soft. Pause at the bottom for a breath in, breathe out and walk your hands forward. This time we're going to add a little leg pull, so just make sure you've got the lift through the tummy, tuck of the tailbone, you're really lifting out of those shoulders. We're going to breathe out, float one leg up, breathe in to come back down, breathe out, float the other leg up, breathe in to come back down. So keep lifting through the tummy. We're going to do 3 on each side. Last one. And then walk those hands back in again. Pause at the bottom for a nice deep breath in, breathe out, lift through the tummy, tuck the tailbone. And draw yourself back up. Same again. Breathe out and peel down. Pause for your breath in. Breathe out. Walk those hands forwards. Set your position. We'll do the same again. Leg pull. So breathe out. Float one leg. Breathe out. Float the other leg. 2 more each side. Keeping the lift through the tummy. Keeping the chest floating away from the mat. Last one. Good. Walk those hands back in again. Pause for a breath in, breathe out, tuck the tailbone, lift through the tummy, peel yourself back up. Okay, slightly different one this time, breathing out, peel down. Pause for your breath in at the bottom, breathe out, walk the hands forward. So from here, we're going to come down onto the elbows, hold for a breath, come back up again, 3 legs, onto the elbows, hold, back up onto the hands, last one. Good. And then walk those hands back in again. Have a nice deep breath in. Breathe out, lift through the tummy, tuck the tailbone, and roll back up. And again, same thing. Hold for a breath in at the bottom. Breathe out, walk the hands forward, hold. Come down onto one elbow, and then onto the other. Back up onto the hands. 2 more like that. Pause for the breath in, breathe out, walk those hands back. Have a breath in at the bottom. Breathe out and roll back up again. Well done. Okay, so we're going to take this into a bit of side bend work as well now. So we're going to be weight bearing through one hand. So your arm and shoulders are not so happy, then just have a little breather. So, breath in, grow tall, Breathe out, peel yourself down. Pause for a breath in at the bottom. Breathe out, walk those hands forwards. Hold there in your plank. Now take the hips high so you come back into like a down dog position. You might need to bring your hands back a touch. So just have a couple of breaths here. We'll just have a little pedal out through the back of the legs first. Really think about flaring your seat bones up towards the ceiling. Just gently tapping one heel down or letting one heel lower towards the floor and then the other. Just allow those shoulders to draw away from your ears. Think about your neck staying in line with the rest of your spine. Okay, and then pause there. See if you can reach one hand back towards the opposite shin and look underneath the other arm. That's it, and then come back, same the other way. Look underneath the arm and come back to the middle. So a little transfer forward into plank for a moment, and then we can come back up again into down dog. Okay, so this time reach back with the one hand. Then, without putting it back to the floor, swivel yourself around so you come onto the side of your feet, lift that hand up towards the ceiling, and then reach overhead, take those ribs up towards the ceiling, and come back to centre. Come back to your full plank. Roll the other way. Oh, no, pause, sorry. Got it wrong. Take those hips back up towards the ceiling. Bring the opposite hand across towards that leg, look underneath. Come straight through. Roll onto the side of those feet, reach the hand up towards the ceiling. And then reach over, take those ribs up towards the ceiling. Come back into your plank. Take those hips back up and into your down dog again. A little pedal out through the back of the legs. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So just let those heels drop. Reach one hand towards the opposite shin. Unroll into your side plank, take that hand up towards the ceiling. Reach overhead so those ribs come up. And back to the middle. Hand comes down, back to plank, and then back to your down dog. Other hand towards the opposite shin. Look under that arm. Come forwards and spin those feet so you come into your side plank. Reach overhead. And come back to the middle. And come back to your middle plank. Take those hips back up towards the ceiling. Come back into your down dog. And have a good little pedal out through there. Good stuff. Okay, last little challenge. We'll transfer forward into plank. We'll come over into our side plank. Take the hand up towards the ceiling. See if you can lift that top leg. And we'll go for 3 of those. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Come over to the other side. This is my not so good side. So keep lifting up, pushing into that supporting hand. 1, 2, 3. Come back to the middle. Well done. Drop those knees down. Take the tailbone back to the heels. Come into your shell stretch. And just breathe into the back of the rib cage. When you're ready, walk those hands across to one side. So nice and low. Find the stretch into the side of the body. Breathe into that long side. And then walk those hands back across to the other side. And breathe into the new long side of the body. Walk those hands back to the centre and then walk them back up towards you. I'm going to come over onto our back, so we'll turn my phone around.